up, y'all? Welcome to Tapealert. It's EJ, hottest in the city. We out here at Shaolin's Boxing Gym on South Shore, Staten Island. About to go inside and interview the young, up-and-coming, talented, favorable boxer, Henry Clare. Come on, take a walk. What's up, everybody? It's Tapealert, hottest in the city. It's EJ. We're here with Henry Clare, one of Staten Island's most talented boxers, up and coming. How are you, Henry?
I'm good. How about you, EJ?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. Thank you for asking. Tell the people about, what part of Staten Island are you from?
Well, I'm from Midland Beach, but I was originally I came from Brooklyn.
Okay. Describe to the world who is Henry Clare?
Well, a lot of people, they look at you nowadays and they want to judge a book by its cover. But, I'm a fighter. I do construction. I run my own business. There's a lot that I do.
Okay. And just describe to us a little bit about, what was your upbringing like? What was it like growing up in Midland Beach? And you said Brooklyn as well.
Yeah, a little bit of Brooklyn. Yeah, I've always had a lot of different views because I've been everywhere. Like I was always in Brooklyn and Staten Island. I was training in the gym down in Flatbush, and I got to see what really helps kids and stuff like that.
Okay, so you would say that what you was exposed to in Brooklyn is what got you into boxing?
Well, actually, I'm British and Puerto Rican. On my British side, ironically, I have fighting in my family.
Okay.
So that kind of got me involved, really. My grandfather was a fighter out there. He was a really good fighter. And my uncle beat European champions, had over 200 fights. He was a really good amateur. He was going to go pro and failed his eye test.
Okay, so your grandfather, your uncle were both boxers?
Yep.
Okay, professional?
My uncle was supposed to go pro. He beat European champions, everything, and then he actually failed his eye test.
Okay, and your grandfather, give us a little bit about his boxing experience, if you have any recollection.
Yeah, my grandfather's always been a tough guy, not even considering, boxing. They've always had a rough life. Coming up, it was kind of that one meal a day kind of thing.
Understandable.
And he just, even to this day, he's 70 years old. He's 72, and he's still laying bricks and blocks.
God bless him. Did they fight any notable fighters from the past?
Off the top of my
Amateur?
head, no.
Okay.
But definitely beat, like I said, European champions, whatnot. They were bad motherfuckers.
Okay, yeah, definitely. All right, so coming up in Brooklyn, you were exposed to boxing through your grandfather, your uncle. Do you remember the day you walked into the boxing gym? And how did you become part of the Tony Atlas Cops and Kids?
Well, when I first walked in, it was actually Gleason's gym. And, Gleason's gym is a great gym, but it's more for pros and professionals and, white-collar people,
Okay.
and professionals like that of the sorts. When I walked in, it was cool. I met my first trainer, John. Great guy, tall dude, strong. I was like, holy shit. I started training. I loved it. I didn't have the skill. I definitely did not. But I was like, so just something compelled me to come back. And, every day, I worked hard. And, at the end of the day, I was like, am I cut out for this? But the next day I would come back, no matter what.
Okay. And that was part of the whole Cops and Kids program, or what was the experience like for you being in the Cops and Kids program?
So when I was in Gleason's, it wasn't part of the Cops and Kids program.
Okay.
So what had happened was around a year or 2 years me into it, Sonia, the president of USA Boxing, she actually recommended that I go to Cops and Kids in Park Hill because she felt like I wasn't getting the attention I needed, and I wasn't getting the sparring I needed. So that was the change in my life, my boxing career and everything. Not only was it boxing, but just overall life experiences. I met good friends and I saw programs like that. It takes kids off the street and put them in gyms where they could use their aggression and anger and they don't resort to violence, gun violence and sorts of shit like that.
Okay. And we see that Teddy Atlas, he has a major part in that, especially developing the youth. Have you had a chance to meet him?
Yes, I know, Teddy Atlas very well. He's not so much involved with the day to day as much as he used to
Used to
be.
be, right?
Now it's more Pat Russo. He runs everything day to day. He's the man. Him and my coach Pat Basciano. Like I wouldn't be able to do what I did without them. I just won that tournament, the new Golden Glove tournament, and I just feel
Okay,
great.
we're gonna definitely get into that. So as far as have you gotten any inspirational advice from Pat and Teddy? Because what we know Teddy from is being in Mike Tyson's corner. So how does that make you feel? Like wow, this guy was with Mike. This guy no Jim Lampley. This guy no Larry Merchant. You know what I mean? He's
Yeah,
actually in. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Michael Buffer.
Yeah, Teddy Atlas is for sure a force of nature. That himself. I mean, obviously he surrounded himself his whole life with, as a professional, as a trainer, as a coach. Like you said, Mike Tyson. He's been around professionals his own life, and the reason why he is because he's just that force of nature. He's a badass dude. You know, and him talking to me. One thing that I like about Teddy is that he doesn't only tell me that I'm a fighter. He tells me I'm a smart fighter, and he makes it clear to me that I'm different from the rest. You know, he's always supporting me, especially with my school stuff. Like, I just graduated college while winning this tournament.
Right. So, leading into, you stated that you were in Golden Gloves. You just recently won, right?
Yeah.
100, what weight division was it? 156 pounds?
156 open.
156?
Yeah, best in New York.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that. How does that make you feel?
Nah, it makes me feel good. I've been in a place where I'm 22. I'm getting a little bit older, and it's like I'm still in my prime. And because of COVID and everything, it pushed us back. But there's something in my heart. I've always known I've been the best. You know what I'm saying? It's like put them in front of me, do what I got to do to prove, and that's why I'm just looking for the next stepping stone to go to the next place. Pro is where I want to be at now. I'm looking to do a national tournament this August for the National Golden Gloves. But to be honest, like where I'm at now is like I've proven myself. I could fight these big dudes. It doesn't matter. I walk around under. I come in my fights underweight.
Coming
That's
under.
really under. That's unheard of.
Right. Unanimous decision against Hans Perez. What was your expectations of that fight? Were you a little nervous?
Well, sorry to cut you off. Was I nervous? We fought already, once in the tournament because they had that whole challengers bracket. But what I find really like notable is that, after the first fight, I did good, but for myself, I didn't think I did as good as I should have done. So MSG, if anything, I was happy it was Hans because I could redeem myself with the fight, one. And two, he's also from Cops and Kids. So it's like also putting him on that platform where he gets to show his people like, yo, this is where I'm at. I'm in MSG. But, for me, I wasn't nervous because I knew I was going to do what I had to do. I've came out of shit, and no matter what, no matter what the circumstances, I'm always a fighter. At the end of the day, I'm going to do what I got to do.
Right. So Madison Square Garden, Hulu Theater versus Hans Perez. Prior to the fight, leading up to it, let us know what's your 2-day process preparation, mentally, physically. In addition to that, did the lights get to you? You know what I mean? Were they
Yeah.
nervous? Let us know the 2-day process.
Yeah, so I mean, listen, whenever you fighting, especially in MSG, you want to do everyone proud. I'm not even worried about just winning. I'm worried about looking good. I don't want to win because at the end of the day, if I won and I look like shit, what the fuck does that matter? I
Right.
want to put on a show. My grandfather, the one I was telling you about, he flew in from England. He paid 1,800 pounds, which is like I think it's like $2,200 to show up for the fight. So the pressure was there. 2 days before, I was nervous. I've been vegan this whole time, and my cousin told me, he's like, the only person that's really honest to you more than anyone is yourself. You look yourself in the mirror, and you talk to yourself, because they'll be honest with you. And every day, leading up to the fight, I'd look in the mirror and be like, why are you nervous? You're the baddest 156 there is in New York. No one can beat you. And I knew it in my heart. I got nervous. I had my doubts. Of course, that's all part of the process, though. That nerves is what makes a fighter a better fighter, right? My best fights that I've done has been the fights that I feel like I couldn't even walk before I got in the ring.
Got it. Got it. So, for you being a vegan, is that by choice or that helps you as far as I would say mobility throughout the ring, or you just don't like
So,
flesh?
so I'm not particularly opposed to eating meat and stuff like that.
Right.
I actually got into a bad accident in August, a car accident, and I had a
Okay.
tear in my shoulder.
Okay.
So I put on some weight. December was coming around, and I was like 180. I was heavy, the heaviest I've ever been in my life. I was training, I was going hard, and every single day the weight wasn't coming off. So I was like, yo, I want to do something different. I'm winning this tournament. I said to myself, even after the car accident, I was so down, I was so depressed, I was questioning everything, I wasn't working. I looked at myself and I said, yo, you got to win this tournament. You got to do it for you. Forget everything else, cancel out the noise. I did what I had to. I don't go out, I don't do any of that shit. I said, like, if I want to do something different, I got to change something that I'm doing, right? You can't do something different if you're doing the same thing you've always done. So I'm like, something small like that, it helps starting the weight off. I wasn't even looking at the scale. Before the fight, I wasn't even looking at the scale. I stepped on the scale a week before my first fight, and I was like 153. I was like, oh shit. I was like, all right, now I'm underweight, fuck.
Now you're underweight, so now you have to get the weight back up.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, that's a great mentality to have, man. Especially being that a lot of, well, not, I don't want to say a lot, but for us here in America, a lot of our food is like processed.
Yeah.
Everything is processed. Nothing is just natural. So we kind of have to steer away. Every corner you turn is either McDonald's or Burger King. So it's tough. So I totally understand. Leading up to big fights, right? As far as training, you have to spar,
Yeah.
right? Are there any notable fighters that you sparred against?
In this camp per se, I definitely got my sparring. I definitely did, the work I had to do. We changed it up in terms of, we did a lot of the crazy training before. I spar guys like Richard Hitchkins, B-Hop. There's a lot of great fighters that I train, like Richard Hitchkins, he's an Olympian. B-Hop, he's a notable pro fighter.
Right.
I'm definitely getting the work I got to get in. But for this tournament, like I said, I want to do all the hard training before the tournament started, because what a lot of people do is, they're not good with their weight. They don't focus on what they got focused, and then the 2 weeks before the fight, they want to start going hard. It's like you either go hard and then you walk into a fight and you just perform your best. How's that gonna happen? But go back to actually what you said before about like the processed foods. Like I really did, switch it up a lot, because I was juicing celery juice. A lot of people just don't understand like that mentality you gotta have to fight. Like you go from eating whatever you want to being very strict and disciplined, and everyone says, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, and you hold yourself accountable if it's a job or if it's homework or if it's school, but you don't ever hold yourself accountable if it's for you. And like I said, I had to do this for me. So I held myself accountable and I did what I had to do,
It's a lifestyle change, man. You have to
Yeah.
change your lifestyle, man. It's just, you don't just change one thing. It's like just the way you see it, period.
Yes, sir.
As far as boxing inspirations, besides your grandfather, your uncle, who is Henry Clare's boxing inspirations today?
So I definitely like, fighters. I'm more of a boxer, so I like Frampton. He's a European fighter. I used to like Amir Khan. But I'm also Puerto Rican, so I definitely support my Puerto Rican family too. Like got Danny Garcia. You got a lot of big fighters like that.
Miguel Cotto.
Exactly. That's I was like, Cotto.
Yeah, yeah.
He's definitely up there. I really do like Canelo. I was a little disappointed with his performance last, but
Right, Right. That'll be another conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know what it is? Us
Yeah,
Hispanics, we hold
right,
each other
right,
to a
right.
higher standard, you know?
Yeah, no, I totally understand. I totally understand. 'Cause I was disappointed too.
Yeah.
So, when I think about it, I go back and watch it sometimes, and by
Take
no
your
means
notes.
am I exactly am I
Yeah.
a professional, but I'm like, yo, you could have done this. You
Yeah.
could have comparing it to your last fight, but I also looked at the size amongst them both, and the other individual was a lot bigger.
Yeah, yeah.
He was a lot bigger, and he just wasn't moving,
Yeah.
but he was taking it. You know what I'm saying?
But as a fighter, like, I mean, you know, like, you're looking at the fight, you're like, yeah, but you're not in there. We're outside looking in, you know?
Exactly. It's different. It's totally different. So I totally understand. So
Yeah.
I'm not, you know what I mean? As far as, when you'll be ready to actually take the bigger stage, eyes on going professional, would that be a decision from you, or would that be a decision from your trainer? Do you think you're ready for that?
Me, I'm 100% ready. I mean, the
Okay.
guys I spar with, I spar Olympians, pros. I get them ready for their fights. Right?
Okay.
They're getting ready for world title matches and stuff, and I'm the one getting them ready.
Okay.
So in terms of if I'm ready, I'm 100% ready. It's more so, like I said, with COVID and everything, it's more so shopping around. Like Patty Russo told me, he's gonna start looking around to see if he gets a good offer, because I'm not a pro that, I'm just gonna go pro. I'm good enough. I just won the new Golden Glove tournament, the Ring Masters in New York City. So New York City is one of the top states for boxing.
Right.
So, looking in as a promoter, I should get a bonus. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not like these other guys that I'm gonna have to pay to fight.
Right. Right. So, other than going pro, is there anything that's next for you? What could we, spectators and fans and viewers, look forward to for Henry Clare?
I'm definitely ready to, get in whatever it is. If it's that national tournament in August, like I mentioned, or even the New York tournament. As of now, there's only one other opponent that signed up, and I don't think he was in the tournament. I could be wrong. But it doesn't matter, the more the merrier. The more they sign up, the better. More for my fans, right? More fights. Like I said, I'm at the point where it doesn't matter. Put them in front of me,
Okay, so if there's one dream fight that you would love to have, who would that be? And would there be a specific weight class you guys would have to meet at?
In terms of amateur, or you just saying overall?
Both. Give us an amateur and then give us a professional.
So amateur, I mean, it doesn't matter. Like I said, just put
Without
'em in-
feeling like you're calling anyone out.
No. I don't feel like I'm calling. That's not an issue. I would if I could, but I don't
Right.
see anyone. If there was someone out there that I knew that was a great fight, I'd call him out. But I don't know. It's just like the game's so different now because of COVID.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Professional?
Professional, I mean, I shoot for the stars. I mean, if I could go for like Triple G or something like that,
Okay.
big fight, like whoever's still around when I'm, pro and work myself to that level, because I want to earn it too, right? I don't want to step in with the best in my first few fights. I want to earn it. I want them to look at me and respect me too.
Right. See that you're an up and coming fighter.
Yeah.
Okay. The youth that's watching, anything inspirational you want to tell them?
Of course. What I want to say to the youth is, if you have interest about boxing and you're doing no good and you're not getting your shit done for school, get your shit together. Come to the gym. Discipline yourself. Whatever you do, do it for you. Because at the end of the day, the only person you're hurting is yourself. So you don't value yourself. You don't value your time. You're only hurting yourself. Be a little greedy with your time. Respect yourself.
Be greedy with your time. Respect yourself. Henry Clare, Tapealert, thank you for your time. I wish you the best of luck. Hope you go undefeated. You know
Thank
what I mean?
you,
So
EJ.
put Staten Island on the map.
Bet.
All right. Tapealert, hottest in the city. Henry Clare.
Tapealert on the beat.